Showtime! The Capital G show starts right now.
What's up YouTube, Capital G here, more crossover news. This time we're talking about Cyber Dragons in this video. I'm utterly shocked that we're getting a new Cyber Dragon support card. This one is a fusion. That doesn't actually surprise me. If you told me that we were getting new Cyber Dragon support, I would have been like, it's probably a fusion. I don't really see Cyber Dragon ever getting a synchro, and with Cyber Nova, he did get Cyber Dragon got an XC. You know what I've always thought is interesting about Cyber Dragon is the fact that Cyber Dragon, the card, is light, but all of the fusions are dark. Isn't that kind of weird? Like in Twin, Chimera Tech, and Fortress, aren't they all dark? Like, I don't know if there's a lore behind that or something, but maybe like Cyber Dragon, the machine, it was originally good, and as it just kept getting like constantly fused with other Cyber Dragons, it got corrupted, kind of like Shadows or something like that. Anyways, all right, so the artwork is really cool. It kind of reminds me of Chimera Tech and Twin, kind of like a combination. This card's name is Cyber Rampage Dragon, and that artwork actually does kind of remind me of something going on Rampage. The card has Cyber Dragon stats exactly, 2116. The effect is really, really good. To summon it, all you need is 2 or more Cyber Dragon monsters. So basically all of that old Cyber Dragon support that came out in the structure deck is basically a go, because if we hop on Dueling Network right quick, we see that cards like Cyber Dragon Dre and Cyber Dragon Zui, they basically count as Cyber Dragon in the graveyard. So you don't necessarily have to use Cyber Dragon. That's not the only way to summon this. You can use some of the substitute Cyber Dragons. Alright, so effect number 1. When this card is fusion summoned, you can target a number of spell or trap cards on the field up to the number of fusion materials used for this card and destroy them. Alright, so that's practical and good. Spell and trap destruction is always going to be good in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And for the most part in this video, we're just going to assume that we summon this guy using 2 Cyber Dragons. Okay, so when he comes out, you get to blow up 2 cards on your opponent's side of the field, 2 back rows. That seems legitimate. I mean, that's an entire pendulum scale. Those can be defensive back row cards. It can be a Phoenix Chain. I mean, blowing up 2 back rows is basically like getting a fucking heavy storm nowadays. The second effect says once per turn, and this effect is fucking crazy. Once per turn, you can send up to 2 light machine monsters from your deck to the graveyard. In addition to this card's normal attack, it can attack once more for each monster sent to the graveyard by this effect during each battle phase this turn. Alright, so basically you can attack 3 times with this motherfucking card. All you need to do is, once again, we just go back to Dueling Network, and it says light machines. It doesn't say Cyber Dragons or anything. So all of the cards that Cyber Dragons already use, like Dre and Sway, you can just dump those. You can dump the original Cyber Dragon. You can dump, I think Cyber Valley is also light too. You can dump Cyber Valleys. I mean, the fact is, this card is almost damn near a 1-card OTK. I mean, if this guy has an open field, he's pushing for 6,300 damage dolo. I mean, by himself, the guy can do over 3/4 of the game. Against a deck like Cleese, I mean, this guy can be a one-man wrecking crew. You summon him, you nuke their pendulum scale, maybe you snatch steal their monster, and it pretty much doesn't matter what they're at unless they're over like 8,000 because maybe you upstarted them, which actually is irrelevant because if they played Scout, they paid 800. I mean, this dude can basically just end the game. You know what I mean? You snatch steal one of their monsters, attack for like 18 or 21, and then you attack for 63 with this guy. This card to me is amazing. It's practical. It's very easy to summon. For one, it actually makes this card hella viable. This is a card that people, wait, I typed in the wrong thing. What I meant to do was Overload Fusion. Yes. Overload Fusion hasn't really been seen in competitive play for a very long time, because for the most part, the only thing you could ever use it for was Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. But now you can use it to summon this dude. And people don't even realize Overload Fusion is basically just Miracle Fusion. If you have Cyber Dragons in your graveyard, all you have to do is just banish them, and then you get to summon this dude and just fucking attack 3 times. And another cool thing is, if you have Nova Dragon and Nova Dragon dies in your possession by your opponent's card effect, you can actually summon this card via Nova Dragon. It won't be fusion summoned, so you won't actually be able to get effect number 1. You won't be able to nuke their field, but it's basically summoned the same way like Cyber Sign summons a fusion monster. You're summoning a fusion monster, but you're not conducting an actual fusion summon of the fusion monster, i.e. summoning a Stardust from like Starlight Road. But it does mean you can still use effect number 2. So definitely liking new Cyber support, and this card is good. I mean, it has 2 effects. They're both insanely good, and it's easy as fuck to run, and it makes Overload Fusion actually pretty decent in the deck. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching as always.
Subscribing makes life happy.